You know how we get it poppin', how we started off. Peace or war, your choice. You already know. So, what's up, y'all? I'm gonna go ahead and start pre-recording my videos again because lives weren't working for me like that. I wasn't being consistent, and I just I think pre-recording may work out better for me. And another thing is I am starting to make notes again of what my topic is so I can stay more on track, you know, um, because order and structure, you know, is important. And I'm sure my messages can get across better if I come with some order instead of just throwing in random things. So I will do some lives, but I'm definitely going to start pre-recording messages. So I may do a series on self love because I started my channel and really wanted to have healing and self mastery as the main purpose of my channel. It's the journey that I'm in. It's the journey that we all should be in. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I don't profess to know everything about what everybody should be doing. But however, self mastery is mastering yourself, knowing yourself, know thyself, knowledge of self. That is the basis of everything when it comes to you evolving as a person. You know what I mean? And elevating and having peace and happiness, in my opinion. So let's talk about it. It may become a series on self love because if I do this video, because I don't have that many notes, if I do this video and then more things come to me, then I have a part two, self love part two, But this is popping it off. So, Whitney Houston, the late great, my boo, Nippy, she had that song, The Greatest Love of All. And when I was young, of course, I didn't comprehend the true meaning of what she was saying. You know what I mean? But I'm going to think about the song right now. So she say, the greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. I probably skipped a whole bunch of parts, and I know that song by heart. That was my fourth grade graduation song. Okay. So, but yes. And when you saying it's easy to achieve, she say it's easy to achieve, and a lot of people be like, that's hard. Because I remember a time in my life, I was in my 20s, and I was speaking to a guy I was dealing with. And I told him, I said, all I need, I'll be good if I could just learn how to love myself. He was like, what, you love yourself, Cal? And I was like, not like how I'm supposed to. You know what I mean? And I don't know how I knew that or what, because I wasn't on my, well, you always on your journey, but, it was just something I felt inherently inside of me. Like, nah, it's more to this. You know what I mean? So he probably was looking at the fact that I was cute. I took care of myself, my hair, my nails. I wasn't shy. I was I was very outgoing. I was confident in my gifts. I used to sing in front of thousands of people and anything. I'll write a speech and give it in front of hundreds of people, no issue. Those are the type of things, probably that he was basing that on. But however, it's deeper. It's deeper than that because actually, you can do those things and everything like that in other ways. Like you have things could damage your self love, right? So with me, based on I can't just, I'm not going to get into all my personal life and everything, but I would say a relationship I had as a teenager, um, that was not, it was pretty dysfunctional, you know, that that probably affected my self-love deeply. And and so as I went on through life, you know what I mean, it was certain things that probably needed to be rebuilt, you know. So I was just living life, but it was things deep down that needed to be healed. Hold up. Yes, the things we go through in this life, this world that we live in, and the things we go through and experience, you know what I mean, can be very damaging and hurting. All the way from a child, your self love can be affected. You know what I mean? From the time you step off in this earth, you know, you have, like with me, my siblings and stuff like that, you know, in the family, you know, little in the hood family, you know, lot of siblings and things like that. You know what I mean? You be busting on each other, talking about each other, saying little things, you know what I mean? And that type of stuff could affect you. Like I remember Michael Jackson, for example, he said, you know, his brothers and them used to tease him all the time. And they used to talk about his big nose and stuff like that. And I could relate. I knew that's why I be feeling people like this, you know what I mean? Because it's like I could see through Mike and his pain, like, and the things that caused him to start the foundation that was set to start, you know, feeling a certain type of way about itself. But look, on a side note, let me slide this in there. Look, I'm off track. Um, I feel like even though they were siblings, you know, and my siblings used to mess with me too, but they probably was hating on me too. Hold up. They might have been hating too. But Mike, I feel like they was hating on him, you know, when they used to do that. And it's possible, I don't know, not necessarily, but I did think that when I was younger, in my 20s, and I was looking at the situation, figuring it out, and I was like, yeah, because Mike was the Jackson 5. Like, Mike was that one. And, you know, they probably felt a little jealous. You know what I mean? They used to take it out on him and torture him. But, because siblings do that. So, anyway, all right, I digress. So, things like that. People maybe bullying you in school. That can be the foundations that could affect your self love, the neighborhood, then relationships you get into as you're older, even these teachers who are in the schools, you know, oftentimes teachers could be very damaging. Your parents could be damaging, damage your self love. Let me think. It's just some things coming to mind. I don't have this down on notes, but yeah, a lot of those type of things, and then even choices you can make in life that that cause, you know, different things not to go right and like you expected and things like that. That could shake your foundation of self love. So I'm kind of starting from the things that could shake your foundation. You know what I mean? So then you also could have a non-solid false type of foundation in the first place, and so you could think you had self-love, but you could have been boosted up. Your ego could have been boosted from a young child. You know what I mean? Ego is not self-love. It's not true self-love, right? So you could be basing your self-worth on your looks. Hold up, I got this in notes. Yeah, false self love, ego, could be based on false things like your looks, your job, your wealth, your social status, other people's view of you, your intelligence, formal education level, the car you drive, designer clothes, your hair length, your sexual ability. But just taking it back to children, it could be yeah, your school, your how you perform in school, um, athleticism. You know what I mean? How you dress in school. You get your hair done. You was popping. You know, your popularity. all that stuff is false. That's false. You know what I mean? So that's false self love, not built on a solid foundation of what's real. You know what I mean? Because the true foundation of what's real is I would say is based on who you are as a person. Now, what about that? Who you are as a person? What's your heart? How your heart beat? What's up with your compassion? Your generosity? You know what I mean? Like how you treat people. You know what I mean? Things like that. You know what I mean? All right. So now, as Whitney said, it's easy to achieve, right? So it is in a way. She really was keeping it real about the foundation of it. Like it really is easy to achieve because you have the power for self-love inside of you. So don't believe the enemy lies like that they try to tell you about yourself and beat you down and make you think like you can't do something or something is so hard. Because just like I was saying when I was in my 20s and I was like, I want to love myself, but I don't know how. You know what I mean? So, but you do have the ability. Because one thing that I learned through this journey is inherent inside. Everything starts from inside you. You have every tool necessary to heal yourself, to build yourself, things like that. All right? So it's just all about practical tools. I'm going to give you some practical tools that I feel like could help, because they do help. That's how, when I started my journey on self love, the first thing that I started doing was looking up meditations and affirmations. And so you could go on YouTube, you could type in self-love affirmations. You could put on self-love affirmations while you sleep, and it go into your subconscious, just going into your ear while you sleep. You could start reprogramming your mind. You know what I mean? And it might sound silly to you, like, you are enough. I don't remember. I just remember that you are enough because it was a long time ago. But they say stuff, and you might feel. Don't let it feel silly. You know what I mean? Even if it feels silly, don't run away from it. Just let it go in your ear, like while you sleeping, and you'll be surprised at the effect that it actually have on you. Right? So you got meditations as well. Self-love meditation. You could type that in, right? And if you feel like you don't know how to meditate or it's too hard, don't give up. Like start off, and a lot of people have a tough time meditating, especially these days with the way they got our minds working, with the anxiety of life, through the hardships of life, and then all these devices and smartphones and constant things like it can make your mind race and things like that. But that's part of self mastery. Master your mind, be able to calm your mind, and you will be able to if you stick to it. So when you first start meditating and you find yourself your mind wandering stuff, don't fight it. Don't tell yourself like, get out my head, get out my head. Nothing crazy, like, I mean, I don't mean nothing I don't mean to say crazy, but nothing like that. You don't have to fight it. Let it happen. Let it pass through your mind and just continue to breathe. Guided meditations would be very good. That's what worked for me until I got to the point where I could meditate on my own. But guided meditations are where they're telling you, breathe. They're telling you little tidbits. They're telling you little things to think about to help get your mind on the right path. You know what I mean? So I would suggest that as well. Meditation starting with possibly guided meditation, right? So that is a great tool as well to develop self-love. And if you're into like crystals and just helping with the energy, because crystals, all power come from God. I mean, God is the ultimate power, but he did create uh, everything on all things like crystals and rocks and things like that. And if they just the makeup of them and the things that are in them, if they emit a certain frequency and things like that, vibration, you know, around them, then that can actually help with, in my opinion, the things that you may be trying to work for that you may not be that strong with at that time. But you could also do it without it. You could do it just you and God without none of that stuff. But, you know, that may help you, though. It may be helpful for you as a person. Each person in their own journey and what works for you. That's how it goes. So crystals that can help with self-love are rose quartz. If you don't have rose quartz, clear quartz is a universal crystal. So if you get a clear quartz and you hold it in your hand, you know, you pray over it, whatever it is, that you set your intention into that crystal, but you just talk to the crystal and say, clear quartz, can you emanate the vibration of self-love? I need some help right now, under the power of God, you know, however you want to do it. But clear quartz can carry any type of vibration, right? So boom, rose quartz, clear quartz. You got what is green aventurine. Green aventurine. That is a green crystal affiliated with the heart chakra. And because the heart chakra carries green color. So oftentimes the green crystals will have something to do with the heart, right? So crystals could be helpful for you. Okay? Taking care of yourself, loving on yourself, self-care, self-care. And it could be hard if you don't love yourself in the first place to want to take care of yourself, you know what I mean? But if you could force it, you know what I mean, make sure, you know, you take a nice relaxing bath and things like that, and you make sure you what's that word, like primp yourself, like do your nails, do your toes, you know what I mean? Rub your body down, you know what I mean? Like make sure you smell good. Get dressed. Don't go outside looking crazy. You know what I mean? Not crazy. I be trying to watch them offensive words, but I'm saying like, you know, you can have a standard to how you make sure, you know, you look when you greet the world, but not on no ego shallow mess, but for you. You doing it for you. You see what I mean? That type of stuff can translate with self-love as well. But loving yourself, look, it's getting dark, y'all, and I do not want to get up and get this ring light popping. I really, really don't. I wonder if I could just do the light on my phone. Let me see. It might look a little crazy, but I'm not trying to let me see what that's gonna look like. I'll probably look like a Halloween jar. Hold up. Oh, it gave me a little boost. Okay. God is good. So, good. So now I'm not feeling rushed or whatever. So, then you got how you allow others to treat you. Now, the thing about that is, if you develop your own self-love, like through practice and things like that, you not even, and then you maintain it, you're not even going to allow nobody to treat you a certain kind of way because it's going to be natural. It won't vibrate with you. It won't resonate, so it won't even be allowed. But, you know, just know that if you allowing somebody to treat you a certain way and you thinking that's unconditional love, because I had people to say that, you know, in the past, like unconditional love mean you love somebody no matter what and da da da. Yeah, you can love them, but that don't mean that they deserve to be around you or that you need to keep that going on with them. You know what I mean? So a practice of self-love is boundaries. Don't let nobody treat you any kind of way. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your family. I don't care if it's your man. I don't care if it's your woman. I don't care if it's your children. I don't care if it's your boss. You know, I don't care. Anybody. It's a certain standard of treatment for you to accept. You know what I mean? And you check that. It doesn't have to be in a disrespectful manner, but you set your boundaries. You don't let nobody sit up there and hurt you. That's not unconditional love. No, that is not what that is all about. Now, let me see. I had something written about that, didn't I? Yeah, people often think that unconditional love is to love someone no matter what. Yeah, you could love them no matter what, but that don't mean you gotta be with them, right? Okay, so now let's talk about this little thing about, because some people will sit up here and say, oh, that's easy for Kelly to say, because, you know what I mean, she don't gain weight, you know what I mean, like she look a little young for her age, you know what I mean, little cute, little whatever, you know what I mean, but it don't matter. You could look like the most supposedly gorgeous woman on earth and don't have no self-love, period. It ain't about that. So it's not easier for me than anybody else, because if it was just based off of the thing that my outer shell or whatever, or other people's view of me, that'd be a fake foundation in the first place. It wouldn't even be solid. And you know what I mean? That's easier to crumble anyway. So self-love, I remember Adele Givens. All right, Adele Givens is a comedian, and back in the day on Def Comedy Jam, she said this joke, right? So first I'm gonna say, a lot of people think because they looks is a certain way or what have you, that ain't nobody gonna love me. No. Now, number one, you gotta love yourself first anyway, before anybody else gonna love you. Because if you don't love you, and say somebody do come in loving you, and then they filling holes inside of you. They filling holes. So now you got a false sense of yourself, so that if anything fall through with that person or what have you, you done. You back to empty. You back on empty, and you basing everything off of somebody else's love for you. So no, it's your love of yourself. All right. So, but anyway, I remember Adele Givens said, she was like, yeah, girls be all upset because they got a flaw. Because they got a flaw. Because, see, Adele, she got some big teeth. She got a big mouth and big teeth, you know what I mean? And whatever. And she said, yeah, you mad because your teeth ain't straight? You got a little snaggle tooth or whatever like that? She like, it's a man out there right now that want nothing more than a bitch that could bite an apple through a picket fence. I know I ain't say it right, but you could look up on YouTube Adele Givens Def Comedy Jam, and I think she had on black and white. I ain't see it in many years, but anyway, she is funny anyway. But so, like me, for instance, you got everybody in a lot of people in this world basing things off of things that do not matter, like your shell, your outside, and you not solid inside, right? So God ain't gonna give you everything. He not gonna give nobody everything. I'm talking about when you come talking about your body, right? So if you talk about, he ain't gonna give you pretty eyes, pretty nose, pretty lips, pretty ears, pretty hair, pretty skin, pretty breasts, like big boobs, big butt, big hips, beautiful shapely legs, pretty feet, pretty hands, pretty neck, pretty back. You know what I mean? Like everything put together. Possibly. I never really, because even if you talk about the body, even if somebody did have everything supposedly perfect or beautiful on their body, then they would be lacking something else. Like they'd be dumb as shit. You know what I mean? Or they'd be like talentless, like they don't have no gifts, no outer gifts, like to actually create something, or they maybe their voice would be all crazy, you know what I mean, or they breath stink. But I'm serious though, like God do not give nobody everything across the board. That's just a fact. That's how it go. But he give everybody something. All right, he give everybody something. something that makes you unique and beautiful, something unique and beautiful about you. But it's just about, if you get caught up in this world and other people's view of what's beautiful and what should make you worthy of love and things like that, then you won't even appreciate the things that you do have. That's why you got to develop self-love inside of you. You know what I mean? So, but people these days, they want to have everything. So that's why you got all these girls and men going to get cosmetic surgery, you know what I mean? And trying to have everything, that if somebody look at me, they can't pick out no flaw, you know what I mean? Because like me, for instance, I don't got no breasts. Let alone, I mean, I got, you know, some, but it's like itty bitty titty committee, okay? And I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. That's something that I know. You know, I love me just like I am, and I dress to flatter myself, my body. You know how I was built. I got other things, you know, and but breast wasn't something that I was given like that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to dress accordingly and flatter my shape and stuff like that. But I'm just saying that just to say, if you love yourself for real on solid, then all that shallow stuff, you know what I mean? You won't, you won't beat yourself up or like feel less than or anything like that. You know what I mean? As you go along. So my encouragement is just stay on the journey of self-love. Like, get on the journey. If you ain't on there right now, get on there. Like, look at some of the little, I am gonna come with more for a series because I have more to say. And but self-love is a foundation of your rising and your elevation. That's like the number one thing. So it's like, it's very important. So let you know, just try to do some tools and pray about it. Pray for help. Pray for assistance. You know what I mean? Talk to your passed on loved ones. You know what I mean? Possibly, if that's something that you would do. You know what I mean? If you got somebody who you really, really love who passed on, when you pray, talk to them too. And ask them, send you some signs or send you some tools to help you on that journey of self-love. You know what I mean? And another thing is like vibration. Matter of fact, right here, I got some tuning forks. Tuning forks is something that emanates vibration. You could go online to YouTube and you could put in 428 hertz frequency. That's the love frequency. You could just put that on in your environment. Put it in your ears sometime. Just let that love flow through you. You know what I mean? But frequencies like 528 hertz and 432 hertz, because 528 hertz is healing frequency. Heal you through from the inside out. It's just a vibration. This world is really built on vibration. You know what I mean? But yeah, like this 432. I don't know if y'all can hear that. But that's a vibration, 432 hertz. And that's the love frequency. You could listen to that frequency and just let it just emanate through your body and just So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna wrap it up. It done got so dark. I'm gonna get better with the with my planning and stuff. I just was like, I need to hop on there. I need to do it and don't delay. And so I didn't really like do a bunch of prep or get it real together. But if you really just listen to my voice, listen to the words that I said, it may be something in here that really can help you. Okay? I hope so. At least one thing. All right? Smooches, y'all. Peace or war. Your choice.